Samuel Johnson once said, when a person is tired of Titanfall, they are tired of life. Or at least he would have done if he hadn't died 230 years before it came out. That said, extra content for our favourite games never hurt anyone, and we know for a fact there will be at least 3 downloadable content packs for Titanfall included in the game's Season Pass. And here's what we need from those DLC packs.
One thing we know for sure we'll be getting in the Titanfall DLC is new maps. What kind of new maps, however, remains a mystery. Although there's plenty of variety in Titanfall's 15 current maps, we'd love to see some more unusual locations explored in the DLC. Call of Duty traditionally uses its DLC maps as a place to include weirder or more gimmicky maps, and I'm all for that being the case in Titanfall as well.
You don the mask, you have the axe, the soundscape changes, everyone knows you're coming.
Maybe less gimmicky than that, although I would like to see Michael Myers try against a Titan.
Threats attacking.
How about a snowy Arctic map like Planet Hoth from Star Wars, where periodic snowstorms close off parts of the map and reduce visibility? Or something set in space, on an asteroid or a space station with variable gravity? How about a biodome in an alien jungle or the top of a futuristic skyscraper? While we're at it, Titanfall is going to need the ability to choose or vote on upcoming maps. With even more maps in the mix, it could be hours before we get around to our favourite one.
Look, I get it, Respawn, you don't think I have 11 friends. Well, guess what? I do. Yeah, I do, and sometimes we want to play Titanfall on a private server. Private servers full of friends are responsible for some of the most fun we've ever had with FPS games, and countless now famous FPS game modes like Halo's Griffball and Call of Duty's Michael Myers wouldn't be possible without them. In fact, just sort this with an update as soon as possible rather than alongside DLC later on. It's cool, we'll wait. They're there yet?
No.
Don't get us wrong, we like grey, goes with everything, but after a month of seeing the same 2 teams of Titans clomping around the battlefield, we're ready for a bit of visual variety. They're already bolting together a multi-million-dollar war machine for us every couple of minutes. The least they can do is slap on a few aftermarket extras so we can express ourselves. We're thinking custom paint jobs, World War II inspired decals, and dashboard bobbleheads. Perhaps each extra could increase build time, so you'd know the players decorated like a heavily armed Christmas tree are the ones good enough to take the hit during Titan prep time. Basically, we want to be heading into battle piloting a Japanese schoolgirl's mobile phone. Thanks.
It's on the way. Stand by for Titanfall.
You can't have Titanfall DLC without a new kind of Titan. That'd be like buying a Happy Meal and just getting the meal bit. Ugh. We appreciate Respawn has created a delicate balance between the 3 Titan types, and Abby Happy has said the game very nearly featured just the Atlas Titan. Let's be honest though, slight tweaks to the armor rating and number of dashes are pretty conservative differences. How about new Titans that swap those dashes for limited powers of flight, or the ability to blast other Titans backwards? What about a Titan with a turret on top that friendly pilots can use, or one that automatically zaps grunts and spectres like a walking Van de Graaff generator? Let's go the full 1980s toy line on this.
Caution. You are outnumbered 3-1.
According to something we read on the internet, there are other modes than attrition in Titanfall. It's weird. Alright, so we've barely played Hardpoint, Capture the Flag, Pilot Hunter and Last Titan Standing, but Respawn Entertainment's Vince Zampella has already teased that new game modes are on the way. Now that the game is basically balanced, Titanfall can afford to experiment with some asymmetric game modes. You could pit an entire team of pilots against a single super powerful Titan, or beef up a single pilot and see how many rodeos they can chain together. Alright, there'd still be snacks compared to the main course of attrition, but who doesn't like snacks? And if there is anyone who doesn't like snacks, can I have your snacks?
Quick bit of trivia. Call of Duty Ghosts has 32 primary weapons. Titanfall has only 10. Well, unless you count a giant robot with a 40mm cannon as a primary weapon. Alright, so it's sort of refreshing that Titanfall doesn't have a collection of guns like a Montana survivalist. After all, in Call of Duty people just end up settling on the best ones anyway. But while we don't necessarily want volume, some variety would be nice. After all, this is the company that designed the Smart Pistol. Surely there are some other interesting futuristic weapon concepts pinned to the walls of Respawn HQ. Oh, and if you could make a sniper rifle that explodes in the face of the person using it, we'd like that too, please.
You can't put monsters in your game and then have them fly away every time we try and make friends.
Heads up, look out for the fire!
There's no way Respawn could have known people would go gaga for the alien wildlife when it was leaked in the official Titanfall art book. But now that the world has spoken, why not ride that wave of public opinion all the way to the bank? Why not offer an organic, bipedal alternative to Titans which, in the fiction of the game, could have provided the inspiration for going to war in giant, slightly impractical mech suits in the first place? Something like Pacific Rim. In fact, you could just borrow the monster designs from Turtle Rock's new monster game, Evolve. Job done, break for lunch.
Alright, that's our most wanted list for Titanfall DLC, but our brains are basically mush after hundreds of high G-Force Titan ejections. So what do we know? What do you want from the Titanfall DLC drops? Let us know in the comments below, and like and subscribe for more on Xbox One, Titanfall, and let's face it, giant robots in general. See you next time!